For most of human history, great empires were defined by great cities. Rome had Rome. The Abbasids had Baghdad. The Chinese dynasties ruled from powerful capitals filled with palaces, walls, and bureaucracy. But in the 13th century, the largest land empire the world has ever seen ruled in a completely different way. The Mongol Empire dominated vast lands across Asia and Europe, yet for much of its history, it ruled without a fixed capital city. This was not a weakness. It was the source of its power. The Mongols originated from the grasslands of Central Asia, a region where survival depended on movement. Their nomadic lifestyle revolved around horses, herds, and seasonal migration. Permanent cities were not central to their identity. Leadership followed the people, not buildings. Around the year 1162, a boy named Temujin was born into this harsh world. His early life was shaped by hardship. After his father was poisoned by a rival tribe, Temujin and his family were abandoned and forced to survive on their own. These experiences taught him resilience, loyalty, and the importance of strong alliances. Through strategic thinking, personal charisma, and military skill, Temujin united the rival Mongol tribes. In 1206, he was proclaimed Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. This moment marked the beginning of the Mongol Empire. Unlike other rulers, Genghis Khan did not establish a grand capital. Instead, he governed through a mobile court. He traveled with his family, generals, advisors, and guards, living in portable felt tents known as yurts. Decisions were made wherever the Khan happened to be. This system allowed the Mongols to respond rapidly to threats, rebellions, or opportunities. The empire did not depend on defending a single city. Authority moved as fast as the Khan's horse. Under Genghis Khan and his successors, Mongol armies expanded at an unprecedented speed. They conquered vast territories across northern China, Central Asia, Persia, and Eastern Europe. Their success came from discipline, intelligence gathering, and highly organized cavalry forces rather than sheer numbers. To govern such an enormous empire, the Mongols relied on systems rather than cities. One of the most important was the yam, an advanced relay communication network. Stations with fresh horses and supplies were placed across the empire, allowing messengers to carry orders over thousands of kilometers in a remarkably short time. This made centralized control possible, even without a permanent capital. The Mongols also ruled through law. Genghis Khan established a legal code known as the Yasa. Although it was not fully written down, it governed military discipline, social behavior, and administrative order. The law applied to all, regardless of status, and was strictly enforced. Religious tolerance was another key element of Mongol rule. The empire allowed Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and traditional beliefs to coexist. By respecting local customs and religions, the Mongols reduced resistance and maintained stability across diverse populations. During the reign of Genghis Khan's son, Ogedei Khan, a city called Karakorum was developed in the Mongolian steppe around 1235. Karakorum served as an administrative and symbolic center and hosted artisans, merchants, and diplomats from many cultures. However, it is important to understand that Karakorum was not a permanent imperial capital in the traditional sense. Mongol rulers continued to move frequently, governing from wherever the Khan resided. The empire was still fundamentally mobile. At its height in the mid-13th century, the Mongol Empire became the largest continuous land empire in history, stretching from the Korean peninsula to Eastern Europe and covering roughly 22% of the Earth's land surface. No previous empire had ruled such a vast area without relying on a single capital city. After the death of Genghis Khan in 1227, the empire was eventually divided into separate regions, known as Khanate. These included the Yuan dynasty in China, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, and the Golden Horde in Eastern Europe. Each developed its own administrative centers, but the original Mongol principles of mobility, communication, and adaptability remained influential. The Mongol system proved that power did not depend on stone walls, monumental capitals, or fixed palaces. Instead, it depended on leadership, organization, and the ability to adapt to changing conditions. By reopening and securing the Silk Road, the Mongols increased trade between East and West, allowing ideas, technologies, and cultures to spread across continents. Their impact reshaped Eurasian history and influenced governance, warfare, and diplomacy for centuries. The Mongol Empire ruled the world not from marble halls, but from the open steppe. Not from a single city, but from movement itself. It remains one of history's most extraordinary examples of how an empire can rise and rule without a capital.